How's it going, everybody? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you my best DFS plays for Sunday NFL Week 13. So I am using the OddsJam screen to find these DFS plays. The OddsJam screen, I love it because it's pretty cool. It basically just puts every sportsbook and where they price a market at all on one screen for the entire slate. So we literally have, what I have up here is player passing yards. We literally have the entire passing yards slate for the entire week on one screen. So you can scroll through and find discrepancies between all the sports books. And that's exactly what the what the OddsJam screen is used for, to find discrepancies across sports books. So in this case, I'm going to find discrepancies specifically using PrizePicks and lock in a pretty awesome entry. And the best example I can find of why the screen is so valuable, and this isn't the only play I'm going to have, but it's the perfect representation of why the screen is so good. Look at this Kyle Allen passing yardage prop. Yeah, the Texans stink, of course. Everybody knows that. But look at this prop. 219.5 everywhere across the board. We see 219.5, right? Except look at where PrizePicks has this. 190.5. They have it almost 30 yards lower than every other book. That's just ridiculous. Regardless of what you think of the Texans and of Kyle Allen and of the game against the Browns, this type of value is a no-brainer. It's something that you simply cannot pass on, this type of value. So my first PrizePicks entry, my first selection, Kyle Allen over 190.5 receiving yards. Passing yards. And now if he got over receiving, that would be a story, but the play is passing. So this video, I'm not just going to have PrizePicks, I'm going to have Underdog as well. Forgot to mention that part at the beginning. But this play specifically is on PrizePicks, and hopefully it makes sense why this is such a valuable play. Like, again, it doesn't matter what you think of the game or whatever. You cannot pass up on this type of value where every single sportsbook has something priced one way, and you're getting it at such an outlier below at 190. So this is going to be my first one. Kyle Allen over 190.5 passing yards. The next one is another one that's going to be on PrizePicks. In this case, it's not as good of a play. It's still good, just not as good. We're looking at Marcus Mariota over 160.5 passing yards. So generally, when you're looking at the screen, it's rare to find an outlier as massive as this one. So the work that you want to do, you still want to look for outliers, of course, but it's more likely that you'll find one like this, like 9 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards. Still a pretty good outlier, but you want to compare the PrizePicks or Underdog number to a couple sharp sports books. And the two that we're talking about are the OddsJam line, which is pulled from Pinnacle Sportsbook, which is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, and DraftKings, which actually does a really, really good job specifically with player props. So PrizePicks prices this at 160. Pinnacle prices it 8 yards higher at 168.5, and they favor it going over. So they have the more likely scenario, the Mariota going over 168.5 passing yards. Now, it's not a huge gap, right? They're not heavily favoring it. They have the over at minus 116. They have the under at minus 114. They're still favoring it ever so slightly, still favoring it. That's all that matters. And then DraftKings has it 2 yards higher at 170.5. 10 yards higher than PrizePicks. So this is another good play, another good PrizePicks play that we're going to have. So this is another over as well. So we have two so far right now on PrizePicks. The third one that we're looking at here is Lamar Jackson under 200.5 passing yards. So again, this is going to be a PrizePicks play. So far, I haven't found any value on Underdog or Thrive or whatever. But same logic here. Pinnacle prices it 8 yards lower at 192. DraftKings also prices it 8 yards lower at 192. Now, Pinnacle does favor it going over this number at 192.5 with the over at minus 123, but there's enough of a cushion here. Like he's got a 7-yard number that he could land at between 193, and 200, and it would still go over, but we would hit our under of under 200.5. So I'm not scared off by this one. So this is another really good play, another one specifically on PrizePicks that we're going to take. This Taylor Heineke one isn't a terrible value, but we can get, and we have gotten way better ones, so I'm not going to play this Taylor Heineke one. The next play that I was going to play here, we were looking at another PrizePicks one. In this case, we're looking at Jalen Hurts over 219.5 passing yards. So another example where most other books, and this is also another play on Thrive. So the first one on Thrive, Jalen Hurts is over 219.5 passing yards. Pinnacle prices it 2 yards higher at 221, but look at how much they favor the over, right? They have the over at minus 132. They have the under at plus 100. They're very much favoring him going over 221.5, and we're getting it 2 yards lower at 219. It's also a really good play on BetMGM if you just want to take it. Actually, you're getting better odds at BetRivers. So if you just want to take this bet straight up, take him on BetRivers to go over 218.5 passing yards at minus 114. And then DraftKings also has it at 221. They also favor him going over this number, the over at minus 125, the under at minus 105. So that's a really good play. Another really good play, another one on PrizePicks, is Jared Goff over 237.5 passing yards. Pinnacle and DraftKings price it higher at 241, as does the rest of the betting landscape. The closest we have is at 239.5. So this is still a really good price. And we're just going through, right? It's not rocket science what we're doing. We're just using the sports books to take advantage of each other and finding mispriced lines. So we finally have an underdog one. We're looking at Deshaun Watson to go under 253.5 passing yards. Now, I like this one a lot. I mean, it's his first game back. He hasn't played in like 2 years. It's hard to believe that he's going to not show some rust after not only being off for that long, but like having all of the legal issues that he had. I'm not going to say that what he's going through, because that's a different story, but just the legal issues that he's had to deal with. So him going under 253, I think, is a great play. PrizePicks has it at 250.5, and then look at Pinnacle and DraftKings, 270, 247, and 247 each. So that's a good play on Underdog. And then the next Underdog play that I had, because we have a lot on PrizePicks. We don't have quite as many on Underdog. So there's one more Underdog play that I had. And I like, where is it? I missed it. So this one hurts, and I understand it's a little bit scary, but it's Patrick Mahomes under 310.5 passing yards. Every book has it priced below this number, 309, 308, 309, 306, 306, down to, looks like the lowest is 306. 310 is clearly the highest. So this is going to be an Underdog play. And then the last one on Underdog is Dak Prescott under 253.5 passing yards. So, I mean, I only went through one market, and how many plays did I find? Like 4, 5, or 6 PrizePicks, 3 Underdog, and it's just the passing yards market. Now, if you want to look at receiving yards and rushing yards, it opens up to a wider pool of players, so you can find even more value. So using the OddsJam screen to look at these player props and find valuable plays is really, really good. And it's the same logic, like, right? We're looking at, instead of passing yards, we're looking at receiving yards, and we're taking advantage that way. So, and again, I found so many on just one prop. So using the screen can be very valuable. Finding player props, even finding totals and spreads that are mispriced as well can be very, very valuable. But that's going to be it for this video. So if you guys are tailing any and all of these Underdog or PrizePicks plays, comment and let me know. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.